Hello and welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Social Studies. My name is Sarah, and in today's video I'll be sharing a behind-the-scenes look at exactly how we create our digital resources that we sell on Teachers Pay Teachers. You can follow this tutorial whether you are also a TPT seller or even if you're just an everyday teacher who's looking to apply some of these strategies in creating resources for your own students. So with that in mind, the resource I'm going to show you how I made today is the Ancient Rome Virtual Field Trip. It is a Google Slideshow resource, and we're going to go through 5 different steps. All steps are important, but step number 5 is the most critical, and it's what most people get wrong, so be sure to stay tuned for that one. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So you can see here, this is the resource we created. It's a very simple slideshow, and I'm just going to walk you through how we put together this digital version. First, though, we're not actually going to be in Google Slides. We're going to go to PowerPoint. So this is just a regular standard template on PowerPoint, same slide size as Google Drive, so it's perfect. And these are my slide backgrounds. Now you have a lot more flexibility when you're designing in PowerPoint than when you're designing in Google Slides, which is why designing in PowerPoint will give you a lot more flexibility and a different look, in my opinion, a better look than designing straight up in Google Slides. This very first slide, the cover slide here, you can see I just added this image that I got from Canva Pro. With that, I added a title here, and I'm using a block font, KG blank space solid here. And I added a black outline, which I did by just clicking on this and adjusting the weight of it here. I also added a little bit of some kerning to make it a little bit looser, so there was some more space between the letters to help them stand out. And then I also inserted a shape to add this text box. This will be where there's just a little subtitle or general piece of directions that I'll add on Google Drive itself so a teacher could edit it. To add that shape, I just clicked on this, added a rectangle, and then I changed the fill to a white transparent, and the outline is a blue, which I did all in shape format. For these other slides, I used a color that was also present here in the image using the eyedropper tool, and I set that as my background. So right click, format background, and set that color. With that then, I've got more shapes that are layered here together. We have this rectangle. We have a rectangle here with some curved edges. These are in a table just with transparent sides, so everything's nicely lined up, and I just used standard font for this. Locations list, it's kind of like a word bank. These are a few little postcard pieces from Canva Pro, and then I've got another font here. This is AG Throwing Shade, and this will also be part of the background. I'm leaving this space open because I'll be putting directions there. And then on the other slides here, again, it's really just layering different shapes and fonts and arranging them in the way that makes the most sense for your needs. So once I've got my slide backgrounds ready to go, I'm going to click on File, Export. When I export these, I need them to be my slide backgrounds. So I'm going to go to my desktop, and then from there, I will select PNG files and save every slide. So I'll click Export. I already have these, so I'm not going to do that right now. Then let me go to my folder here. Let's see. So right here, Ancient Rome Templates, you can see I have all of these set up here and ready to go. We are ready for step 2, so let's go back to our Google Drive resource. To follow along, I'm going to create a new one right here. So I've opened up a slideshow. I'm going to delete the text boxes that are here, and I will copy and paste this slide 5 times. And then it's pretty simple. I'm going to click on Background, choose Image, and using these slides, I'm just going to, one by one, drag them in. And so what's nice then, this image is locked in the background so your students can't move it around at all. So I'll just continue with each one. There are extensions that people sell that will allow you to import them all at once. Personally, when I've watched the tutorials of those, I find that me plugging these in really doesn't take that long. Sure, it's tedious for about 1 or 2 minutes. If you're using massive slideshows, then maybe it would be more beneficial, but to me, it really is no big deal. Perfect. All right, so these are all slide backgrounds. You cannot edit any of the text here. All right, we are now ready for our next step. So with this resource, it's time to add in our interactive and editable features, which is mostly going to be the text. To do that, I will simply click on the text box and put that here. And with it, just to save time, I'm going to copy and paste my text from over here. And so with that, we're good to go. This is also where, as you continue to create more resources, you'll be able to do this a lot quicker, because you could just go into your other file here, not even click to add the text box, and just copy and paste it on whatever slide you need. So it can be very simple. Now this is where students are going to be typing in the mystery locations as they are visiting them on this field trip. So I need to add text boxes here. So to do this, fill this out here, and I will say type location here, which just makes it clear to the students where they are typing these things. It helps to be very clear, and I can just copy and paste that into the other spots. So after I've done this, then I can copy and paste all of these onto the next slide. And then partially here, I will then click and move these around a little bit. And for this particular resource, that's the only type of interactive feature I need to add. However, if you wanted to add, let's say, a movable piece, not really relevant here, but let's say I wanted to do that, I could add a shape. Let's say I wanted to add a star. So I've got my shape here. I could adjust the fill of the star. So maybe make it yellow, add a thicker border, and then you could instruct students to drag these around on the resource. So if I wanted to add a movable piece to this, maybe I would have students put stars by the top 3 locations they would want to visit. I'm not sure, but you get the idea there for the movable pieces. Now it's time for our final step, step number 5, which is the most important, especially to save you a lot of time and prevent future conflict or confusion with your buyers on Teachers Pay Teachers. Before we get into that step, I am very excited to announce that I have just released my ebook all about selling on TPT. It's called The Intentional Teacher Author, Start and Grow Your TPT Business by Working Smarter, Not Harder. And it combines my exact workflow for TPT, how we've grown our business so much. I'm not sure if you've watched my past TPT tutorials, but in the early days, I was really excited about making $200 to $400 a month. But we honestly, just here in February, hit $50,000 just for this school year alone. And it's just been really wild and blowing my expectations just how this is really working and how we're able to add so much value in teachers' lives. And also, I'm exceeding my teacher salary at this point. So with this in mind, I wanted to share all of my strategies, my exact workflow, but also how I managed to do this and grow more quickly, more efficiently with certain intentional business strategies. Up here on the screen, you can see the table of contents, exactly what is included in this particular resource. And it's really perfect for anyone who's new to TPT or who wants to dramatically increase their efficiency and how effective their work is for TPT by making a few key tweaks to their business to make it smarter and more strategic, helping you become more successful on the platform sooner. So with that in mind, the link is in the description field below. I'm also excited to offer one-on-one coaching with your TPT store. So if you're looking for a chance to walk through specifics to your store, set up a growth plan, and take care of any questions that you might have, that's what you can expect from these different coaching sessions. So the link for that is also in the description field below. All right, what you've been waiting for, sharing your file. How do you successfully share it with teachers while also protecting your work and preventing people from making changes to your original? You've got two options. The first option is to use the Google Drive upload tool. If you wanted to upload your resource directly from Google Drive, you would use the online resource tool. So I would click on that. And this would specifically be for a product from Google Drive. When you click on that, it will then prompt you to select that file, and then you're good to go. After you do that, it's going to say, do not delete this file listed on TPT at the end of that resource title. Whenever a buyer purchases this resource, it's going to download directly in their Google Drive account. Now, some sellers have steered away from using this Google Drive upload tool. I myself did not use it much at the beginning because previously there was not a bundling option, and I know for myself the bundles in my store accounted for over $30,000 of my TPT revenue this school year alone, so I was not willing to leave that money on the table. However, now that they have allowed bundles, I think it's a much more helpful option. So eventually, I'm sure I will shift more of my products to the Google Drive tool. Right now, I think I've got about 30 to 40 that are using this upload tool. The other option you can do if you don't use the online resource tool is to still do a digital download, and you will share the link to your resource in most likely a PDF. So if you were to do that, let me show you exactly how you can make that happen. So I'm back here in my resource, and what I'm going to do is click share. Now I need to do a title here. Okay. So for this file, we are going to click the button that says change to anyone with the link. With that in mind, it's clicked on viewer. Do not change this. Do not use editor. Do not do that at all. We want to keep it at viewer because we don't want anyone getting in and editing our original file. Now that I've got this setting that anyone on the internet with this link can view, I'm going to click copy link. Then I'm going to click done. Now your link is not ready just yet. We need to turn it into a forced copy link. Now to adjust the link, I just paste it on a sticky on my computer. With this, what we are going to do, let me actually zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, so I have my link here. Do not share this link. What we are going to do is find the spot at the end after that last / where it says edit USP equals sharing. And we are going to get rid of that. I'll just hit enter. And we're going to add the word copy to the end. So then it's going to force a copy link for whoever is clicking on that link. So when I copy and paste this link, I'll copy it and paste it over here. Would you like to make a copy of sample slides? Whatever your resource title will show up here. And then when the person clicks make a copy, it is going to create their own version of the resource in their Google Drive account. They are no longer on your original file and they can edit it as they choose, and it's not an issue. So that's going to be how you're able to generate those forced copy links. And you can do the same thing with Google Docs as well. One key difference is with Google Forms. Let me show you that one. So if you opened up a Google form, obviously this is an old giveaway survey I did, not currently active, but let's say I wanted to give this resource to my buyers. You can't just click send, then they are not going to get edit access. What we need to do is click on more, and we're going to click add collaborators. When you do that, we're going to change to anyone with the link. Now, unfortunately, editor is the only option for a form. However, I have not had issues using these settings with Google Forms. So I'm going to then click copy link, done. Now I'll go back to my stickies. So this was the old link. We're going to get rid of that now. This is my new link. Once again, I get rid of that extra stuff after the last slash there, add copy, and then let's test it. Perfect. And then they are prompted to make that copy. Easy enough. And that's the exact format you want to follow if you're not using the Google Drive upload tool that is through TPT. Finally, the very last step, I'm back in PowerPoint. This is the PDF resource that a teacher will get when they download our resource. And you can see here, I've got the Google Slideshow forced copy link ready to go here. So then once this is a PDF, the teacher can easily click on that, or if they want, I had also designed a printable version of it as well. Got my answer key, all that good stuff. So that walks you through this particular tutorial. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial all about creating digital resources on TPT. As I mentioned before, if you are interested in checking out my ebook, The Intentional Teacher Author, Start and Grow Your TPT Business by Working Smarter, Not Harder, the details and the link for that is in the description field of this video, as well as I am offering one-on-one coaching if you have some questions about your TPT store or are looking to grow. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe right over here. I do have more TPT content coming your way, and you can also check out some past videos over here. We'll see you next time. Bye.